I thought I'd show off my test system for the speed and reference sensors. That's a 951 flywheel, a pressure plate ring gear, and the reference sensor is set to 0.8 millimeters, just like the spec says. It's currently running about 400 RPM, and you can see that the voltage coming off the sensor is can't even count, very high. 2, 4, 6, 8, it's like 16 volts peak to peak, and the spec is 2.5 volts peak to peak. So that's a function of the RPM being higher than the 200 RPMs that the manual calls for when testing the signals. So as the RPMs drop, you'll get a little bit smaller of a signal, but if I back up so you can see both, even as it drops down to 200, with the right gap and a healthy sensor, there's just no problem staying way above the voltage needed to trigger the DME. See, we're getting down close to 200 RPMs now, and we're still at almost 10 volts peak to peak. So we're still like 4 times what the spec calls for, even though we just dropped under 200 RPMs. And I thought it would be interesting to show in real time. If I pull this sensor away a little bit, watch the voltage just plummets with very little change in the gap. So you can, if you're way out of range, that's probably 2 millimeters now. You get barely any pulse at all. And on the other side of the coin, even at 125 RPMs, which is way below what you're supposed to use to test, if you push the sensor closer and closer and closer, you can get a dramatic effect on the size of the pulse. So the moral of the story is check your gap, because you can go from way below spec to way above spec in the course of like a millimeter. Anyway, thought that was interesting. See ya.